Hello, welcome to the Critical Obsession podcast. My name is Mirella,
And I'm Zoe.
and today we're going to react to episode 9 of Last Twilight.
I feel like our listeners can hear it in your voice how excited you are. It's so funny to me because I don't know why, but I had in my mind all day today that it was episode 10. Why did I think it was episode 10? I was like, oh no, tonight's gonna be hell, but like it seems like it's gonna be the romance episode, really, doesn't it? Like the proper romance episode.
The big
And apparently there's gonna be firsts of
first. Yeah.
various origins.
Oh, and the song. They're finally going to post the song from the trailer, the intro song.
Yeah, I saw
I'm so
that.
excited. This is the first time. This is the first time I'm that excited. I'm actually the first time I'm just excited for an OST. I don't know. I don't know what happened. What is this series doing to me, Zoe?
Yeah. Lots of people I think are excited for this one to come out because
Yes, it's a really pretty song. It's really beautiful.
Well, and it's weird because it's not usually like the last one they release. Like it's usually like the first or the second or something. You know, like normally you have the OST for the main sort of opening by now. It's a bit weird that they've held on to it for so long.
They're so cruel because it's there, like it's in the trailer, it's in the previews, it's in the breaks between the episodes, but we still don't have the full song.
Do we know who sings it?
No, we don't know who's singing. We don't know. Oh, actually, I think they said the name is Last Twilight, the name of the song.
Yeah, I think they said it's the same in English as it is in Thai or something. I think I saw something like that on Twitter. But I was like, I was kind of reading it and then at the same time going, am I understanding what this post is? I was like, what's this I'm looking at? I was having one of
I'm
those
following
days.
some people who are like big Jimmy C fans on Twitter, and I'm just hoping that they're right. I'm like putting my trust in them.
Well, I mean, usually they're in the know, aren't they? So meanwhile we're just, in caves in the dark. But but yeah, I'm interested to see, what's going to happen in the hotel room. Will they play Scrabble? I wonder, what is this thing that Day wants to do for the first time? I wonder.
I'm scared of the ending.
Yeah. Well, because we should get like the last few seconds, shouldn't we? Should be like the prelude to like next episode where it all goes to hell.
Will they get a text from Night? Will they not respond to it?
That's an interesting thought.
Because he mentioned like if I text you, you have to respond because it's urgent.
Yeah. In my mind, I've written all these like super tragic, like not tragic, but like dramatic, maybe is probably the more correct word, like one of them falling off the mountain or something. And then suddenly, it all comes out that they're on their own and that they were doing something that they shouldn't have been doing or like whatever.
Can you imagine?
I know, right? Mork falls off the mountain and then Day's like has to find his way down on his own.
Oh my God.
He's just like stumbling around the forest by himself because he can't, see anything.
So
now that I put that in the universe, should we watch the episode?
Let's watch the episode. Part 1. So I almost forgot about the random dad.
No, I remembered the random dad. I just wasn't expecting it to quite go the way it did. I will confess, just before we get started, I don't have many notes. I was very preoccupied with my food. I haven't had dinner yet for those listening, so I was like stuffing my face full of linguine and it was really good. So I enjoyed it, but I just didn't have time to take notes.
Well, I did take some notes and we got our answer about why he was there. So Night told him. Night let him know. So does that mean Night is keeping in touch with the dad? Night is the one. Like, it's interesting that he does, because clearly Day doesn't.
Well, I mean, on one hand, I suppose Day was probably like he was, from what he said himself, he was very young when they left, whereas Night's a bit older, so maybe he has more memories of the father, like more positive memories of the father. And so, he wanted to
What if
keep that
he
relationship.
what if he kind of feels like he is the black sheep of the family, so he felt the need to reach out to someone else, like
Mm.
it makes sense for him to be the one to get in touch with a family member that is basically an outsider.
Yeah, I mean, it's also sort of makes sense a little bit too, because from from what we've seen from the story, as I said, Day's the youngest, so he's the baby. The mother
Hmm.
has clearly doted on him pretty much his entire life. He's done all the right things, like in accordance to how she's wanted him to live his life and everything. So
Yeah.
he's been the favored son. So it would make sense for Knight to reach out to his father, because he would have felt like you said, like an outsider. And it may be that he didn't reach out to him until after the accident, and he may have done that because the father is also someone who's done something wrong to
Yeah.
the family.
And also, when he went to, we get the story. Day asks him that, do you know that he's the one responsible for my blindness? And the dad is like, but he's really sorry. So then
Mork's
Mork is,
Mork's facial expression is like, oh shit.
uh-huh.
You know that meme? It's like the oh shit meme. Like, it's just
Yep.
like he's like, oh, suddenly everything makes sense.
Hmm. And then we get the flashback where he tells Mork about the accident.
Mm,
And what I'm picking from here is that Knight being in that kind of a situation when someone needs to pick him up is not a first,
mm.
and that his mother gets angry with him because he's like, you're like mom, when Day cusses at him.
Mm.
And like when he um, talks about Day, like said, do you want an autograph? Or like when he's like, oh, he's a like a big badminton player and blah blah blah. I was like, is he proud or envious?
Oh,
Or maybe
envious,
both. Probably
jealous.
both.
Mm. I
Jealous.
feel
Yeah,
like I
probably
feel like
both.
he was jealous, but I also feel like he's mocking him.
Hmm.
Like, he's mocking Day's success. Like,
I feel
what's
like
the
it's a
big deal?
it's a mixed feeling. It should be a mixed feeling. Like
Oh, of
he's
course.
probably proud, but also yeah.
Mm,
And actually, this is what we were talking about, like in the beginning. Remember?
mm,
And it is kind of what I expected. I thought they would have a bigger fight, maybe because of the way like things were, the way their relationship was so tense. But I guess it just got worse with
mm.
time.
Yeah, I feel like it's funny because I was expecting, especially when they introduced this idea of him of Knight being gay and okay. Whoops, I did it again. No, this this thing that they've introduced with Knight being drunk doesn't even sound anything
Hmm.
like being gay. But anyway, being
Hmm.
drunk, I was half expecting to have a scene in the car where like he grabbed for the wheel or like did something to Day to distract him. I was not expecting for it just to be like he was going to be sick and Day was busily looking for something for him to throw up in. I was a bit like, wait, what?
It
So
actually made. I remember during in the first episode we were talking about like they had a bad interaction and we were talking about what could have happened, and I was like, based on the way Knight behaved, like it doesn't look like he caused the accident. It doesn't look like he was the one driving. It would have been different for me. So
mm,
this for me makes a lot of sense the way the story well unfolded.
mm.
This is
it's
what I
it's
expected.
it's kind of silly though. Like, I get like it's whatever, but I almost don't like this part of the story, if I'm being completely honest, and I'm going to be critical here, because I think it's dumb. Like, if you were driving along and someone is drunk and they're going to throw up, you pull over. and he could have pulled
Mm-hmm.
over. There was no indication that he was on a freeway or anything like that. He could have pulled over. Knight could have like got out the car and vomited. He did not need to like start ducking around in the floor well of the car trying to find a bag or something for him to throw up in and take his
You
eyes
know,
off the road like that. To me, I think it's kind of cheap writing. It's the first
no,
thing
you know, you're
I don't
saying
like.
this, but actually, I know a situation where something happened to someone, and like no one is to blame. Like people were around him and no one was to blame for what happened to that person, but they keep focusing and they keep blaming and they keep, going back to that. And like it actually, somehow when in some stories stuff happens and you're like, oh, this is just bad writing, this doesn't make sense, this couldn't have happened in real life, and then you find out that that's exactly what happened in real life, that it's actually what, based on a real story.
Mm.
It's one of those things. Actually, it's realistic to
Yeah,
me.
I just don't like it. I feel like it could have been, I don't know. There's
It
a
could have
person.
been more dramatic. You're saying
Well,
it could have been more dramatic, but I feel like it's actually quite realistic.
it's not that I thought it should be more dramatic. I just think it's stupid. And I'm sorry, but that's just a personal opinion. So just because, I mean, I don't know. Like I've been driving a really long time, and I've had drunk people in my car, and I've been in many situations like that, similar to that. Maybe not with the animosity that they had, but at the same time, I don't know. It doesn't. It's not that it's not realistic or whatever. I just think it's dumb.
Well, so there are a lot of I don't know. I like and it's not that I like it, but I feel like it makes sense for me because dumb stuff, bad stuff happens when someone does something dumb.
Oh, look, as I said,
You know.
I'm not. I'm not saying it's not something that could possibly have happened or like whatever. And I'm not saying that it doesn't work, because it does work with how he explains what he actually feels about the thing and how I think he's what he's actually trying to say to Mork later on. But I just mean, like, for me, I feel like it was poor writing, and that's just and I get it. You and I are not going to agree on this. Like you have
Mhm.
way too many invested feelings in this show, I think. But I just from
Oh my God, you're saying I am biased? No. I told you I was
I did
expecting it
not
to happen like
I
this in the
very
first
very
episode. In the
carefully
first
I very
episode, it's you who had different expectations, though. You had different expectations. I was right. I was
I,
right. What was I saying? Oh,
I
look at
very
her.
carefully did not use the word bias, but I'm glad you brought it up.
I heard it, okay? I do not agree with you.
I'm like, everybody, did you see how triggered she just got? But no,
I can
seriously,
be
I'm just like, if
objective,
I had to
okay?
criticize, this is a really good show. If I had to criticize anything up till now, it's the only thing they've done that I was like, really? Really?
Hmm.
I just think it was bad writing. But that's just me. That being said,
Yeah, that's just true. Okay, let's move on. Let's
yes.
move on. 'Cause we're gonna, yeah.
That being
So,
said,
um,
it does. Can I finish what I'm going to say first?
oh my God, finish, please, please.
You're like,
Go.
stop talking about it.
No, no, no.
Okay.
Finish it
So
up.
that being said, I do think it fits with what Day's feeling. So he says to, like, he explains the story to Mork, and suddenly Mork is like, "Oh, I completely understand why you would feel the way. Like, I understand the animosity." But then he
Mhm.
says something like, "What he's actually angry about is not like, he knows it's an accident. He knows that, like, Knight didn't actually do anything necessarily to cause the accident, as we witnessed, but he has suddenly made this like transformation, and now he's the good son, and now he has everything, is
I
stepped into
think.
this role that
Mhm.
Day feels now is like he doesn't know who. It's so tied up in what Day's idea of his identity is, and the fact that he is so angry at Night. Like he just wants to be angry at Night, and he can't be angry at Night because, like, he, well, I mean, like, he can, but like he feels like he can't be, so that makes him angrier, and especially like Knight is
Mm-hmm.
apologizing, and he knows that
Mm-hmm.
Knight didn't actually do anything, so he shouldn't be apologizing, and he knows he's being
Mm-hmm.
a dick to Knight, so he knows he should be apologizing, and all of this is just
Mm-hmm.
pissing him off even more, right? And it's so
It's
funny
also
because
they're so bad. They're so bad at communicating. They're so
oh, of
bad at
course,
understanding each other. They're so like he went to his dad to find out how Knight feels and what his reasoning is, what the way he
yeah, but
thinks
and I
about
feel
this
like
whole
it's not so
situation.
much. That's not so much about not being able to talk, like communicate from his point of view. I feel like it's just that he literally cannot hear it from Knight
Hmm.
because he's so angry
That's
at him. Like
correct.
just looking at him, like like I mean, I have a person that I know that just looking at this person, I want to smack them. Like I don't obviously because
Hmm.
I've restraint, but they invoke this feeling in me. Like I feel like they just have that face that's like asking to be smacked, right? And I don't know what it is. It's something about their personality. Maybe it's a me thing. I don't know. I don't know if anyone else looks at them and wants to smack them or if it's just a Zoe thing. But in this instance, it's like every time he even looks at Knight, he's angry. Even before Knight opens his mouth, he's already angry at him. So the idea to me
That's
of them being able to sit down and have a rational conversation, like he knows he can't.
but also remember last episode, Knight is so bad
Oh
at talking
yeah,
today. Like
Knight
he
does
just
not
opens
help.
his mouth and is like
Yeah.
pushing button.
Oh
Like
yeah, he does not
that's
help.
all
He's
he can do.
he's
Yeah.
extremely thoughtless and insensitive, and not on purpose. I believe that's not on purpose. It's just obviously he has always felt he's been lacking, and rather than like try and do something about that his solution was to like go out and get drunk and just like do nothing with his life essentially. And now suddenly he has been prompted by this accident to grow up. He is making positive
Yeah.
changes, so he's doing all the things that Day wanted him to do before the
Hmm.
accident. Like clearly he was waiting for his big little brother to grow the fuck up, and now he's doing that, but it's almost like at Day's expense, because Day had to get hurt this bad for Knight to like grow up basically. So I feel like his anger is tied into this idea that he knows he shouldn't be angry at him, but he can't help it because like as he said, it's like he's benefiting from Day's loss essentially, and he is um so he can't help but be angry at that. And also, even though he logically knows that this accident was not his fault, like you could say, like Day should have, like I said, Day should have pulled over. He shouldn't have been, fucking around. Who cares if he vomited in the back? Like you get the car clean. Like there's a bunch of different things that he could have done to avoid the accident himself. Um, but he didn't do those. But then the fact that he was out, he had to go out and actually pick up Knight. That's why they were in the car in the first place. Like, so it's all factors into like these feelings of anger. The fact that he knows that it's somewhat irrational, he can also still talk himself around to the fact that like it would never have happened if I didn't have to go and pick him up, or like all these things factor into his anger. But mostly I think it's about the fact that he seems to, I feel like it's like he sees the changes in, like it's funny because once again I'm using like a vision pun and I don't really mean to, but like he sees the changes, the positive changes in Knight, and it fucks him off
Hmm.
because it took this happening and it's at his
Hmm.
expense is how he feels. And as
A bad thing happening to him means a good thing for Knight.
yeah, and so
Hmm.
and so that pisses him off. And also, but then he also feels guilty that he's angry because of something like that's a good thing, and then that makes him mad. So like it's like this vicious cycle where he just can't get past the fact that like he just basically sees Knight and wants to smack him essentially. I feel like that's the vibe. So I mean, so the writing for the scene for the accident fits all of that very well. I just yeah, but anyway, so we finally found out what
So,
happened though. I was like, wow, okay, they're actually
uh,
going to tell us.
hmm hmm so the dad left her for another woman.
Yes, he cheated. So that's interesting. And so now I'm going to make your day and apologize. I'm going to tell you that I was wrong and overly harsh and overly judgmental about the mother, because her
Uh,
behavior now makes so much more sense. Especially, and not so much the cheating. The cheating is incidental. The cheating is whatever. Like, lots of people get cheated on and don't turn into like a raging control freak bitch. But like, he says something about like she was begging others for food and stuff. So this
mhm,
whole like weird kind of obsessive behavior she has about feeding them, about her
mhm,
job, and about food in
mhm.
general makes complete sense, because she would have this fear in the back of her mind that if she even like lets her guard down a little bit, they could be starving again, all of them. And she took it all on
Yeah,
herself.
true.
So that would be her mentality. That's why she's so, besides the fact that she has not accepted the reality of his situation, her preoccupation with her career and her job and everything is tied into this idea of like them all starving and her not being able to care for them. And it's actually probably a little bit aggravated by what's happened to him too, because she would feel like, even though she wasn't in the car, she did nothing wrong, you would still feel like,
Mm,
because you're powerless in this situation, you can't do anything, you can't fix it, you can't make it better, you know, I mean, you can learn and grow and do all the things that, you know, she should be doing, but she's not at that place right now. Instead, she's just at the place where like, I failed him,
mhm.
and so she's
And
buried in the thing that she
it's hard to
can do, which is feed him, essentially. Feed, house, clothe, whatever.
provide, provide for him.
Yeah. The one thing I really loved about this, and once again, to me, it shows you that Mork is such an interesting and insightful character. Um, and it's the bit where Day is explaining, like he basically is telling us, I mean, I went into it a little bit more depth, but like he basically said to Mork what I said, which is that he's like angry at him because he's benefiting from his, whatever,
Yeah.
even though he knows it's not his fault, and he knows that like
Mhm,
he shouldn't be the one, like, Knight shouldn't be the one who keeps saying sorry. He should be saying sorry because he's been such a dick to him, but he can't help it because he's so
mhm,
fucking angry. And I just love,
mhm.
like, Mort gets this look on his face, like he can't. It's not smile, not laughing, but kind of almost, and like sort of a smile, because he's like happy that like Knight has this insight. He knows himself. He knows what's, it makes sense. It's not this
Day.
bitterness that. Sorry, Day. Yes, sorry. Day,
Mhm.
he has this insight into himself. Like, Mork is, I think, impressed and also happy at the fact that he knows this about himself, because this is a big thing. To be able to acknowledge that is like a huge part of the healing process, and Day hasn't realized it yet, but he's going in the right direction. The fact that he
I don't
knows
know if
this
I
about
saw that
himself.
as a smile, actually. It was
Well,
like a pain smile.
I don't know. I took
I
it as
saw it
like, it's not hopeless kind of smile.
so Pla, the wife, is from this town, and I don't know. Have they already talked about the Last Twilight? Or
No.
maybe they'll talk in the evening. They'll
Yeah.
talk in the evening. I was expecting for a flashback to happen, and for them to tell them about the Last Twilight
Yeah,
place.
I feel like maybe it's
So
gonna happen at, like, I don't know, because they're meant to be going home the next day. Because basically they have a conversation in the morning where Night, not Night, fucking Jesus, where Mork asks Day what he wants to do, because they have a whole day free. Essentially, they're catching, I guess, bus, ride, plane, whatever, home the next day at like 9. And I'm assuming that's 9 in the morning, but I suppose it could be 9 at night. But I guess 9 in the morning, because he says we have this full day, like, now to do something. What do you want to do? Um,
very cute for Mork to ask about the food to change the subject because they were all focusing on days past and
yeah,
on day actually, and he shifted the focus
yeah,
onto something else. You know, there's so much product placement in this last episode. It's like kind of in your face. Like, why so many in the last episodes? What happened? I feel like something like this happened in Not Me as well.
yeah. I feel like probably there's a
A lot of
certain
product.
quota. of
Yeah.
like that they're meant to show. And if for some reason they can't work it in, they really don't want to break the characters, and they don't really want to break the scene, they'll skip a couple of episodes, which means that later on they're gonna have to like really ham it home. So
I hope we don't get a product placement in a very dramatic moment, like someone crying and then picking up a bottle of milk, Dutch milk. I'm like, this makes me feel so much better.
I'm like, don't cry, don't cry over spilled Dutch milk. Yeah,
Oh,
I
this
know.
series.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because, as you said, I skipped ahead, but we had the breakfast scene basically, which was with the newlyweds and their friend who owns the hotel they're all staying in.
Yeah.
Which, as you said, was where you thought they were going to talk about the last Twilight mountain bit. That's what I thought too. But we ended up talking about food, which is how we
Hmm.
we got the reveal that the father had cheated, and that's why the mother had left, and basically the insight into her obsession with food. And then, as you said, Mork changes the conversation by like just asking about what the food's called and things like that. And then we skip to the scene where, as I said, they're alone and they're out on the balcony of the hotel and talking about what they're gonna do next. And Day asks for Mork to take him to his father. Like, I want to know
Yeah.
how. Mork must have contacted Knight, because, like, how is he going to know where the father is? Unless, I mean, I guess maybe Day could know that. But I did think, what I did think was really interesting is that, like, no one in the series, except for, like, when Day kind of, like, hinted at it in the last episode, said anything about the fact that this is where they're from. Like, even Knight, when he was going with them, never mentioned anything about their father or about like going home, or like it was really weird a little bit. Um
Like they agreed not to mention, like this is a past that they buried, and it's not just like the food. She never prepares food from this town.
yeah, it's like this unspoken
Something that they
agreement.
left behind. Yeah,
Mm,
to never talk about it again.
and
To
maybe
yeah,
it's something that they did for her, that because she's clearly not wanting to revisit it,
yeah.
so they decided also not to. But clearly Knight has been in contact. So yeah, I feel like Mork must have contacted Knight though to find out where the father is, um, to know where to go to find him. So
So they go to the father, and he works with Art, and he grabbed Day's wrist, and
yeah,
they made it go.
he's angry. Like, Day is it's so funny because we always talk about Mork's
Mhm.
anger issues, but Day is actually just like a hot ball of
Mhm.
like anger, like so much anger. His anger is at himself, his anger is at his injury, his anger is at Night. There's clearly anger with the
Again, they're so
father.
similar. They're so similar.
It's very interesting that he's, and it's interesting too because I think I said last episode that Day tempers Mork's anger very well. I feel the same thing happens as well with Day. Like,
Mhm.
Mork can calm Day like no one else can.
That's
Like, he
true.
makes him
Yeah,
be rational.
he became so soft when he opened up to Mork.
Mm,
He's vulnerable. He's ready to, because he was expecting for Mork to say that it was an accident. He was expecting for Mork to like try to argue with him, to express his opinion, and he did it first. He's like, I know this is what happened. I know, because he was expecting that from Mork. He was
yeah.
expecting Mork to be honest with him about it and
Yeah.
try to
And
talk
maybe
the reason
maybe
with
that
him.
is maybe that is the prompting. Maybe that was what prompted the smile that we got from Mork, was the fact that, Day, as I said, Day is he's aware of, like, that he's being irrational, that he's whatever. And as I said, I feel like that's a good step in the right direction. But I also do think, like, we did sort of get the comment um from Mork where he was like, "Oh, I understand," because it makes sense to him why he would be angry, even if it's irrational. Like, I mean, it makes sense, you know. And he's an angry
Mm.
guy. He's been angry about stupid stuff before, so I feel like I don't necessarily know that he would have said it's an accident in this moment, like later on, like if he had tried to like bridge the gap between them or something. But I feel like in this moment he was going to empathize and sympathize with him.
True. So, should we go watch the second part?
I think we should, because I'm curious to know what the father has to say.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay, part two. Can I say something before
Yeah.
we start?
Yeah.
I donation.
Oh God, seriously, I know. I'm just like,
I
kill
just
me
wanted to.
now.
I have to get this out of the way before we start.
I'm just like, why? Why do they keep doing this to me? It's like they know it physically hurts me. Freaking eye donation. Oh my God. I like want to send an email to GMMTV being like, fucking eye donation? Ugh.
so, so we get the conversation between Day and his dad,
Mm-hmm.
and he tells him the story of how Knight contacted him first, and it
Mm.
was after the accident, and he called him to tell him that it was him who did it today. He needed someone. He needed to say it to someone.
Mm.
I guess he needed someone to himself to be his confidant, or I don't even know, because I feel like he couldn't have said it to the mom because her full attention was on Day. Day
Mm.
needed him, and like no one needed the dad. He could take it for himself, take him for himself.
Mm. It's so interesting as well. Like Knight's character here, I found was very interesting because, we've seen him be. I think I understand his character more. We've seen
Mm-hmm.
him, when Day has been angry at him and blamed him and everything, like he seems so, like we had conversation about this before, about, whether it would be his fault or not, because the way he's just like, oh yes, of course it's my fault, blah blah blah. Like he sounds like someone who doesn't believe it's his fault, whereas clearly he 100% believes it's his fault, even though it wasn't really. He
Like
definitely, in his mind, it's his
logically,
fault.
logically, of course, it's not his fault, but it feels like it's his fault, and
Yeah.
this is what he I had wine.
Internalizes.
Okay, I'm talking in my own language. Okay, so he internalizes this because um this is what Day focuses. This is Day's way of viewing things, so he um adopts it as well.
I don't know. I think he actually does blame himself. I feel like the
Oh,
way
he
he
does.
I feel like the way he interacts with Day, though, this whole idea where he's talking to him like, like you blame, like he's almost being sarcastic, like it's not, like he's shirking, I guess, responsibility. Not that I'm saying he's responsible, but it's like that's how it comes off. Like he's like very blasé about it, very like, like, oh, you're just blaming me again kind of thing.
Mhm.
Whereas clearly that's not how he feels at all. I feel like he talks today like that because he is trying to
The defense
help
mechanism.
Day. It's hard to explain what I mean, but I feel like he's trying to get like Day. He gets frustrated with Day, like when Day is being negative or where Day is like fixated on something, and he's
Mhm,
frustrated with him. But he's so like there's been a couple of times where like Day has done something, and then like Knight has almost all but yelled at him,
mhm,
like why did you do this? Like when he came into um the eye place, like the blind society or whatever it was. He had to go in there to get something and some paperwork or something about becoming his guardian, and Day had gone in there looking for that book, and when he found him, he like basically yelled at him like, why are you here, blah blah blah. And then that prompted the fights on the way home in the car, which ended with Day getting out and stepping into the middle of traffic. But it's like, but I feel like when he starts yelling at him and the way he's like, when he's blasé about like a bit whose fault it is, and that, it's like he's yelling at he's angry at Day, but he's not. It's all internalized. It's just
Mhm.
it comes out and he's like being super harsh instead. It's like he has the same problem but in reverse that Day has with him. Like Night can't he doesn't know how to interact with him or deal with him because his guilt is so big that he just gets like frustrated and angry at himself, and instead it ends up with him lashing out at Day instead. So it's like they're both they're actually really similar as well. Like
Mhm.
they're just uh I mean, clearly clearly they have issues from their childhood. um their parents' relationship did not help their relationship, and the way the mother has obviously like um sort of focused more on
She drew lines. She
Day.
drew lines.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so
I
that hasn't
think
helped either. But yeah, it's just interesting. I just was thinking about, and I'm thinking when he gets frustrated with Day and he's sort of like almost like lashing out but not really, it's just it's actually internalized anger and guilt.
mhm.
Mm.
The Day says, like, "Do you think this will soften me? I'll never forgive him no matter what." And the dad said, "Well, he will never forgive himself." And I'm thinking, he will never forgive himself unless Day asks him to forgive himself, because I feel like right now he uses his guilt and anger at himself as a motivation
Mm.
to to be better, to change, to do something different. Like it's not like he needs it. It's not like he needs this guilt and anger to motivate him, but
No,
he will
it's what lit
refuse to
the
let them
spark.
go.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
what lit the spark. He's already a better person. He's already grown
yeah.
up. He just needs that. But it's
But
interesting as well because
maybe he thinks he needs to feel guilty and to, like, he deserves to be punished like this, and this is the only way he can do it.
yeah.
Maybe this is how his thought process.
And it's interesting too because like we've seen a couple of scenes where we know now, and it makes me think that this has happened a lot more, and obviously we're not privy to it, we're not being shown it because we really only need to see it once to know what's happening. And that
Mhm.
is that he goes and he watches, or he's cheering Day on from the
Mhm.
sidelines without Day even knowing that he's there. Like he
Mhm.
wants Day to succeed. It's why he's helping him. It's why he's helping Mork with him. It's why he's happy that him and Mork are together. It's,
Mhm.
he can see that this is all positive. This is all good
Mhm.
things.
Mhm.
And it's really interesting because Day talked about how he's pissed essentially at Night because he's gaining from his loss essentially. But it's so funny because Day is also gaining as he's losing. He's gained this. We see he has this conversation with his dad where they essentially reconcile.
Yeah.
And so moving forward that they're going to have a relationship, and this is a real relationship too. Like if the dad had come in to his life, like a year earlier or something, when he was at the peak of his success in his sporting career, when you always wonder that that's why he'd popped his head out suddenly, like suddenly he's interested now that you're famous or like
Yeah.
whatever. Whereas now he feels like he is less than, and yet here's his father saying like, I didn't need you to see me, but I needed to see you. I wanted to see
Mhm.
you. And that's very much what's happening with Knight, with the way
Yeah.
Knight
Yeah.
is showing up for things. Like he doesn't need for Day to see him, but he needs to see that Day is okay and that
Yeah.
he is happy. And that's a very selfless thing, to a very selfless relationship that that's happening, which is really interesting. But yeah, so Day is gaining. Like he's losing his sight, but he's reconciling with his dad. He met Mork. Like there are things that he's
Well,
gaining
he
because
continues living. He continues living, actually.
yeah, and he's gaining new confidence. He's like learning new, like there's all these things that are just like he's not, and I feel like he's getting there. Like it's like he gets to this point where he realizes that he's gaining so much even as he's losing stuff, but then he sometimes just drowns in the loss of it, which is understandable, because it's like that's what
Mhm.
grief is, and mourning is like, like you lose, like, okay, let's put it down to like a person. So you lose somebody you care about, whether it's a death or like a loss of a relationship for some reason, friendship, lover, whatever. And like, it's devastating for a certain amount of time, and then you move past it, you learn to function again. You have to, because like, the world doesn't stop turning. You have to get out of bed and put your pants on and go to work or whatever. Like, that's just how life is. And yet then something will happen, and you'll find yourself sitting in your car at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, bawling your eyes out, because suddenly it all hits you that this thing that was so or this person that was so important is no longer there. And I feel like that's what's happening to today. Like, he gets to this point where he is almost okay with everything, and then the reality of like being completely blind, for example, hits him, and it's like this
Yeah.
huge loss, and tied up in that loss is anger. So that's why we keep getting this, like, these moments of him lashing out and being so angry with his brother. And a lot of it's frustration at himself as well, because I think also he sometimes feels like he's past it. Like, he's definitely trying to show that he's fine with it and that he's past it.
Mhm.
And like, the way he sort of talks to Mork, even, like, he's like, oh, it's okay, blah blah blah. But Mork sees everything. Like, all he does is watch this boy. The
Yeah.
bit when Day and his father are reconciling, like, I swear, Mork is such a precious being. He's just watching them, and he's so happy. He's happy because Day is happy.
I almost cried when I saw him.
Yeah.
The way he was looking at them.
Yeah, so much joy. He's just like, oh, look. And it's so devastating when you think about that he can never have that himself.
I never had that. That's true.
Yeah, he can never have a relationship with his father. He can never have a relationship with his sister. Like, that is not an option for him anymore. So the fact that he's so happy, it doesn't make him sad. He's not bitter. He's so happy for Day. Like, this boy, he loves him
Not
so much.
jealous.
Like,
Yeah.
so, and then we find out, which I suspected, that Mork has been perfecting his cooking skills. And he's good enough that he's become good enough to be offered a job, essentially.
Yeah. He's so impressive. But also
And
that meal, that the way that he created, like he decided to um play head chef, it felt like he was rewarding Day for reconciling or for having that moment with his father. Like he
yeah,
was happy, he was trying to reward him.
yeah, it's so interesting too that he has, like, we know he's been doing things. We know he's been reading the book ahead. We know he's been like learning how to navigate days well. We know he planted the jasmine. Like, there's all of these things that he keeps doing. And this whole, like, we know he's been cooking for David, this idea that he's getting better and better and everything, it's like he's invested in it, because it's something that is like, has been important, and is like a love language, I guess, like,
Hmm.
between his mom and Day. Like, that's like a huge part of, I
Hmm.
guess, Day's love language. And so
Yeah.
the way that he's made this like such a focus, that he's wanted to like improve, and as you said, he does it as like a reward. Like, at first I thought he was learning the recipe for the thing that you can only get in that area that like Day liked. I was thinking, oh god, if he learns how to make that, so he can make it for him back in Bangkok or wherever they are, like, I'm gonna die. Um, so, but yeah, no, he was just cooking, but apparently enough to impress the hotel owner, because yeah, he
Yeah.
offered him a job essentially. I love the way he's just like, "Are you sick of the caretaker thing yet?" And I love that Day knows he won't leave him now. Like, his confidence in Mork is so nice, because we had that scene just before they got together where he was so unsure. Before
Yeah.
he knew, really, like, like, he knew Mork liked him, like, because we'd had the kiss, and Mork had all but told him he liked him, but he
Yeah.
wasn't aware of like the depth of the feelings and everything. And then, you know, now that they're together, he's so confident. Like he's just like, you could have him, take him away, like, I'll pay you.
Yeah, it's
And
you, yeah.
yeah, and Mork sulking because Day's like trying to give him away is just like the funniest thing ever.
I love
But
that
like
he's
his
so.
confidence is so precious, because like that's because Mork has made him feel so loved.
But also Morg feels like he can do it. Like he has a purpose, he has motivation,
Yeah,
and so
it's
freaking
interesting.
talented. And what held him back in his life was like his circumstances and lack of motivation,
Yeah.
and the fact that no one believed in him, and like he didn't feel like anything was expected of him,
Mm,
and that like he felt like he couldn't cause no change. No, he couldn't make a change.
mm,
Like nothing mattered that he
mm,
did. Nothing that he did not. That his life didn't matter. And right now, they leans on him. They want him around. They like his presence clearly makes Day's life easier and better, and it makes him feel like he has a purpose and that he also is important and that he also should be better. I
mm.
love this.
It's good too, because like we already knew that he was like a good mechanic or whatever. Like that's clearly what he went to university for, like mechanical engineering or something like that by the looks of things. And so he is like has skills, but like now he has so many more skills, and he's like, you know, he obviously, like the guy at the fun run they were doing, you know, offered him a job, which is what set off
Mhm.
the initial drama between Mork and him and led to them getting together. But like he didn't really take it seriously. It wasn't anything that was new or exciting. Like that's his old
Mhm.
life essentially.
Yeah.
But there was a moment here where the hotel owner offers him the job, and he's not like, he's never going to take it, but like he was surprised, like he seemed pleasantly surprised, and also like, oh, this is something I could do, like
What if he actually does later? What if he and
becomes
Dave
a,
move to
yeah, well,
this town?
because eventually like Day is going to get to a stage where he's not going to need Mork to
His
be around all the time. Like he's going to be able to function,
and maybe
you
he
know.
he will want to move out of his mother's house.
What if he started working for the mother, or like with the mother?
For the
More
mother.
more
Mark,
cranny.
I don't know. Well, I thought about this, but I don't think so. Like I I can see them actually moving to this town and they living like helping his father or like living by the ocean and being close to Pion and Mork working in the hotel, for example.
Yeah, or opening
I
his
don't
own
think they,
restaurant or something.
who
Mm.
knows.
It's interesting. I'll be curious to see how they end this, honestly, because there's so many ways it could go. But I
But
did
at the
really
same
think it
time,
was,
Mork has this house that he like
he's
his
very
sister
attached
bought.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I
But
feel
there
like
are many possibilities. They could go in
there
different
are.
directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's very interesting too, because like as I said, there's this idea, I think, as you said, where he didn't really think he was worth anything, or that he could really do anything right, you know.
Hmm.
And so this idea of that, not only could he become a mechanic, he's a caretaker. Oh look, I could be a cook like this. He's like, wow, I got skills. Like it's just like he's surprised at himself, and
Yeah.
it's like he's learning even as Day is learning. Like they're learning together different lessons, but like kind of the same at the same time. Like different skills, but the same lessons essentially, like about themselves, about the fact that they can do something, that it doesn't have to be the same old, you know, things don't have to stay the same to be good or to be bad. Like it, you know, life can change, and things can be different. You can learn new things, like all of these things that's happening, and it's really interesting that they're doing it together, and it's, as I said, it's different skills that they're learning, but like the lessons are very similar.
So they told them about the last Twilight moment,
Mm,
the last Twilight
mountain or
sighting.
something.
Yeah, and They didn't want to. I feel like probably because it feels final for him. It
I
feels
think
like
that too, but I do think he does say like he's worried about the mother finding out, and
the
then the
mother
sooner
thing.
they get
Yeah,
home,
that
the
too.
better.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably like he's aware of what his mother's like. He must know
Mhm.
that like when she finds out, like it's not going to be good. Um, and
Then, but
but
then they're being all cute,
Mork is so
observant.
attentive and
Uh huh.
observant. He can see that Day is sad about it. Like even though, as you said, he maybe thinks it's too final and doesn't want to do it, he does want to do it. Like it's like you can tell, like he's sad
Yeah.
about the fact that he may not get a chance to do it. And then, oh my
But
god, how cute are they on the bed? Just laying there, being all cute. And, like Day
Mark
is
is
trying.
wearing Day's t-shirt with the blind person,
I
the one that
know,
they got
right?
together.
With the blame Brian person with the cane. I know. I'm just like, it's really funny because they had the keyring things on their bags to very obviously differentiate whose stuff is whose, and yet we're
Mhm.
having some cross clothing wear. It's very boyfriends of them.
Mhm.
It's very cute. And but
And
yes, they
then
have
Day
this
kisses, or no, actually he homes, I think, Mock's
hand.
palm, and then he notices that he cannot see it again.
Yeah. But before
So
that,
he,
Mork is trying to get Day to agree to go.
mm,
Like, because he can see he wants to. He's trying to work out
mhm.
how to address it to him in such a way that's like not going to upset him or like ruin the moment, because they're having this really sweet moment essentially. And in this moment, Day seems quite happy as well. So I feel like he's like, how do I bring this up? But like he knows that they need to talk about it because he could see like the Day
He
wanted,
even
this is something Day wanted to do.
he even says, what if we you don't get another chance to do it?
Yeah, well, because and yeah,
He
because
dares to say it.
Day is very like, I have 3 months. That's I could come here plenty more times, and
Mhm.
and I've got lots more chances of coming here or something. And he brings up, but like, what if you don't? Which is a very valid thing, and as you said, it's very brave that he dares to say that. But it's one of the things I like about their
Very
relationship
mock of
because
him. It's very mock of him
it
to
is.
say that. Yeah.
And he thought about it very carefully before he said it too. He's not like he just blurted it out like say Knight would have or something. Like he's said this because he honestly cares about him, and he's aware of the fact, like he's aware of the realities of the situation in the way that like for example Day's mum's not, like, you know what I mean, like she'd be
I
like,
feel
oh,
like
you
he
can go
doesn't.
anytime.
I feel like he doesn't even need to really think too much about it before saying something, because right now they're on the same page. They're in sync. The fact that we had that dance in the last episode and they like felt natural. It felt like they didn't stumble. There was no weird moment. They're finally in sync. They're like perfect for each other right now.
Yeah, I just think
And
that
then,
when I say he
yeah,
was considered it and everything, I feel like more like he's like, it's like he says things to him in spite of the fact that he knows that like maybe someone else might not say that because
yeah,
they'd be worried about upsetting him or like whatever, whereas he's like, this is the reality of the situation. You and
yeah.
I both know it. And I feel like Day respects him for that as well, because he's really the only person who has been completely
Direct with
honest
him.
and
Honest.
direct with him
Yeah.
and not treated him like a child.
Not tiptoeing around him. Yeah.
That's right. And like as I said, either treating him like a child or treating him like this isn't an issue because suddenly there's going to be an eye transplant.
Yeah.
Like he's very much in the reality of the situation. And of course, as you said, then we had this sort of cute moment where Day was like, no, it's fine, but then he can't see
He
Mork's
freaks out
palm.
a little bit.
Yeah, it freaks out a little bit. And it's and once again Mork almost realizes straight away like what's going on. And
I like that he turned his back to him, but then like it passed pretty quickly. Like he turned to him. He turned to him for comfort. He turned to him for like a solution to something that's
yeah,
bothering him.
Yeah.
He opened up very quickly. He did not close off.
And once again, I said, like Mork is showing this like best boy greenest flag ever personality here, the way he lets him like turn away and have his space and
Gives him this
come to
moment,
him
yeah,
in his own, in his own way, in his own time.
to process this, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Letting him, like, not telling, this is the other thing, not telling him like his family keep doing, not telling him how he feels about something or how he should feel or whatever. Like, he lets him work through it and come to his own conclusions. Yeah. And the conclusion is that he wants Mork to take him to this place. So it looks like they're postponing their trip home. So
Yep. So let's go see the next part.
yes, let's do it.
Part 3. Are we okay?
You're so extra.
Yeah, so never forget your duty in bed, Mark. My brain stopped working. I'm just reading notes. You talk.
So they decided to go to the Last Twilight place. And Peon and his wife, whose name escapes me right now, saw them off, and there was a little bit of teasing, which seemed to come out of nowhere, which Morella is referring to. There was also a line about, "I can't wait to play with your kids," or something.
Yeah, and the baby, it's on its way, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, really? Okay.
So then they said that they should go to certain places on their way to the mountain because there are things in the book that were inspired by real locations. So we
it's
had
a whole journey.
Yeah.
There's a whole journey planned in the book, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little pilgrimage. And so then we had this really cute, I guess,
actually, they gave him the book back as a wedding souvenir.
Yeah, which is hilarious funny. It's like, yeah, thanks for the book. We don't really want it. Have it back.
I love the line, the last light on, the legend has it, the last light on the last Twilight mountain top was so powerful it could break all the curses. Very, very romantic.
Yeah. And so then we got this. Sorry?
See a building with ice. They went to see a building with ice, of course. Everything.
It was like this cute, almost like little sightseeing montage. And yeah, because there's a bit in the book where she goes to see some wizard or something.
Oh my god! But the moment where they like have to separate ways, like they go in different direction to meet in the same place again, and it's like the line from the book is like they're testing the fate. Something about testing the fate, and I'm like, oh, whether this is some kind of a foreshadowing. They have to separate ways to test the fate, and then they'll meet again.
Yeah, well, it's interesting too because what I liked about this scene is we had Mork encouraging Day and saying to him, "I believe in you," like to walk his own path.
Yeah,
and then he was essentially waiting there for him when he was ready.
Yeah.
So maybe foreshadowing, maybe.
Yeah,
and then, of course, they got lost and have to stay the night somewhere. I can feel it coming.
They saw a mermaid. What do you think the mermaid is also supposed to, like, the mermaid is also a cursed being. Like, she had to, I remember the original story. She was like cursed, and she had to wait for like several hundred years for her soul to be free or something like this, or to, there was something about waiting for her. She had to wait to get what she wanted, to break like the curse. Do you remember the original story? No, okay, but me neither. But this is something about waiting. Like, I think what she wanted
was, you're like, meaning, like, Zoe, you're failing me. You're letting me down.
I think she wanted a soul. That was what she actually wanted, a soul. But I'm not sure.
I can't remember, if I'm being
Okay,
completely
so
honest.
yeah, they got lost. I'll have
Yes.
to look it up because I'm curious. I think they wouldn't have included it there had it not been important or somehow relevant to the story or like
What, the
having
mermaid thing?
motifs.
I don't know. I think
Yeah,
it was a really nice visual. Like that scene was just a really nice. I mean, the mermaid was gorgeous, but also it was just a really nice visual of like Day taking his time, feeling things out, and Mork just like chilling. Like, I
maybe,
mean,
maybe.
that's actually also a little bit of a similar metaphor for what we were just saying. Like, Mork is just waiting while Day just like feels his way around.
Yeah, so they get lost and there's no phone reception, which I think is important
Mm-hmm.
because Knight mentioned that in case he sends a message, they need to respond.
Yep.
So they meet a stranger who tells them that they're on the wrong side of the mountain and they will not have time to see
Get
the twilight. Yeah, to get to the top. So they looked for accommodation and they found a place. That moment was hilarious when Mork was afraid and they're like, huh, you know, I cannot see anything anyway, so I'm not scared. Oh, before that, actually, Day is having doubts again
Yeah,
because
Day was being negative and saying like, is it really? Should we just go home? Because like, is it really worth the effort? I'm not going to be able to see anything anyway. And then Mork
yeah.
reminding him of his own words that you don't need to see something to experience it. Um, and so yeah, and then as you said, then we had Mork being freaked out because he thought the place looked shady, which is hilariously funny, and
Mhm.
and Day being like, yeah, I can't see anything, so I'm not afraid. So like, let me take the lead. And Mork leaning on him. We had this like we talked about
Yeah.
how we wanted to see this like it
Yes.
like, but this is not quite what I meant. But it's like a really cute
Yeah.
representation of
Uh-huh.
like Day stepping up and Mork being able to lean on him.
Yes.
And then of course it doesn't quite work out because they don't have any cash. The
Mm-hmm.
cash for the place. So then Day has to say like, I'm going blind. Like he has to tell a complete stranger, someone who like which is a huge step. It's so much growth here because like he didn't want people to look at him different. He doesn't want people to
Mm-hmm.
know like, and now he's telling a stranger because it
Mm-hmm.
will help him get what they
This,
need, what they want.
yeah, this is very important to him, so he's ready to share this information.
Yeah, and then suddenly it's all about them leaning on each other, and it was really cute. And then he
David,
was
the author of Last Twilight, used to stay there,
yeah.
and we get the story of how he wrote basically the book. He dedicated it to his daughter. Me is based on his daughter because his daughter was getting blind,
Mm. So
and the hotel owner knew David, so
yeah, I
she
thought it
had a
was
big.
really interesting because Mork brings up the fact that their copy of the book is missing the last page. And did you know she kind of went a bit weird?
Yeah, she left suddenly. It was like, what? Do you have your own copy? I feel like she does. She
Yeah, she
probably
does,
has.
but it was weird that she didn't volunteer that. It was like, I'm guessing maybe that will come out later. Something will happen, maybe. I don't know. But it was very weird. She was definitely weird, and I don't know why. So there's maybe something happens on the last page that's not what you expect. I don't know.
Mm. A
Um,
sad ending. A sad
maybe,
ending.
maybe.
Mm.
And then um so
Oh, I love the fact that they sings the song that Morg sang for him, the one that I'm in love with.
yeah. So
Uh,
basically, Mork says he's gonna go and help the hotel owner clean up. I guess she must have fed them. And then which we didn't get to see. And then he says to him, stay here, and when he comes back, he's playing the guitar, yeah, and singing the song that Mork sung him in the pub, yeah.
Yep, yep, that's the one.
And the way he's
The
just
one
like
that's
listening,
the one
standing there
that's
listening.
playing. The one that's playing where
Oh, they're in the car.
When Mork kisses, Day for the first time, we hear this song performed by Jimmy, and then we hear the recorded version, I suppose, performed by C later at the end of this part.
It's it's really sweet. He just basically stands there and watches him play until he finishes, and then he claps and's like, you know, about being lucky because his boyfriend is a really good badminton player, but apparently
So
he's a
talented.
musician as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Day being shy because he's never played in front of anyone before, never played for anyone before. It's interesting that he words it that way because he says, I've never played for anyone before.
Yeah.
And so it's like he knew Mork was there.
Yeah. He sang
like
the song for him.
He could feel his presence, which wouldn't surprise me because the way that Mork watches him is so intense. Like, I feel like you would be able to feel that. You would be able to feel that.
Yeah. Well, he did say that. He did say it one time when they were eating, and he was like, "You're watching me, aren't you?"
Yeah.
Because usually, yeah. Well, at that time, he was like, "Usually you cannot stop talking, and now you're suddenly silent, so I know you're watching me." But I feel like Day knows Mork is watching him all the time.
Yeah.
He's aware. Yeah.
And then we had Mork listing like all their firsts.
First.
And can I just say one word? Hands. Hands, people, hands. And then Day wants to do another first with Mork.
Yep.
And then the bit where they're like standing in the bedroom and he asks Mork for his t-shirt back. Can I have my t-shirt back?
I love
Mork's like,
that.
sure.
I love that.
And then
I love that.
And then they played Scrabble all night long. The end.
Yep.
That's what happens. They played Scrabble all night long. And they really liked it.
For
I
the
feel like
first
they
time.
both win.
Yeah.
I feel like they both took turns winning as well. I think Day won, and then Mork won, and then Day won again, and then Mork won.
Yeah, I don't know how to respond to this.
Yeah, they played Scrabble all night long, basically. They did. Hardcore Scrabble. Big words.
Yeah.
It was really pretty. There was lots of hands. It was very pretty.
Very tender, very sensual.
Scrabble playing. They took very good care of their board.
Very beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, it was nice. It was very sweet. I loved how it was it was very artistically the cinematography for it was very artistically done, which I thought was nice. In the day of the wham bams and let me show you everything that seems to be popular at the moment, it was done in a very sensual, as you said, pretty, kind of like artistic is the wrong word, but like I liked how it was kind of had this like almost kind of fuzzy quality to it because it makes sense, the intimacy of it being up close like that with Day's vision and everything. I really liked the way it was shot.
Like it was some kind of a look, they're here, you're with them because you're aware of like their intense feelings and you're going through it with them, but at the same time it's their intimate moment, so it's not like
we don't need to see them playing
we
don't need to see them rolling the dice.
Yes. Exactly.
While playing Scrabble. People are gonna hate me so much for this. But seriously, I'm just like, when that scene started, I was just like, oh, they're gonna play Scrabble, and then I was just like, oh, they did. Oh.
I'm scared of the next part.
I am too, because I saw the little tiny bit, the GMM preview. I saw, it was like the car crash thing. It started playing, and I sat there like a captive audience and just went, oh no.
Let's go.
Let's go and watch.
Let's go watch.
From this nice, cute, happy, sweet, loving Scrabble playing to like whatever devastation we're going to be led towards. All right.
Let's go get our heart broken. Let's go.
I'll meet you on the other side.
Hi.
Are you okay?
I cried my eyes out.
I know, me too. Okay, question. When did you start crying? What part? What was the exact moment you started crying?
Mork started crying. I
Oh,
started
I
crying.
started crying way before that. I started I
I
started
have a hard
I
when it
started
comes to crying.
crying um when Mork was reading the end of the book
Mm.
and Day said um that it was good to end it this way because Mew will never have to fade away again. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just like, wow, if someone I know said something like that to me, I would be very concerned for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was just distracted. I was distracted because I was having revelations, like references in my head, like oh. So
Oh yeah, I had almost stopped by then, and then I just started.
so let's start at the beginning.
Okay, so at the
Uh,
beginning we had cute
Get the
little,
morning after.
yeah, cute little the morning after all that Scrabble playing that they did.
Yeah.
Um, we had cute little Mork being a cutie patootie and doing the little like hand gesture thing between them so it makes them close.
Mm-hmm.
And Days, are you peeping? To which Mork replies, I saw everything last night.
I don't need to be. Yeah.
Yeah, to which Day replied, I didn't see anything. And then,
Which Mock so like heard as interpreted as an invitation
yeah, he's
to
like, do
the
you want to
second
try and,
round of
yeah, do you
of
want
people playing.
a Scrabble playing? That's right. He's
Scrabble
like,
playing, yeah.
yeah, he's like, he took it as a challenge for, yeah, a new Scrabble tournament. He's like, do you want to try and see what you can see again? That whole first scene was extremely adorable. Um,
So she did have her own copy,
yes, she did.
and she gave them the last page.
Yeah, which was very sweet. And then we had the whole like montage basically of them getting up the mountain. And about
I was
halfway
like,
up,
they were climbing, but in the back of my head, I was like, oh my god, they're going to see the twilight, and then they're going to have to climb, like they're going
I
to have
know
go down that mountain.
you you and I are like having the exact same thought because I'm thinking, okay, like they didn't take any camping gear or like anything. So like, okay, Last Twilight, then it like the sun sets and it's nighttime. How the fuck are they getting back
Mm-hmm,
down? It'd be one thing if
mm-hmm,
you were like two able-bodied people, and even
mm-hmm,
then you would be both essentially blind because it would there would be only starlight at best, and it's like, um, I guess okay. Also, there's the moon, but like very little light out somewhere like that. How the fuck would you not break your neck? So you would have to stay there until the morning. But they took like no provisions. A bottle of water does not cut it, more.
yeah. So
But I did
night
love
call,
how attentive and careful he was with him the whole way up, basically climbing. It was very
throwing
well
big
done.
rocks away out of his way. Yeah, it's like, uh. And then night called, and
Yeah.
he told them that the mother is coming back.
Yeah.
She's coming back tonight. That you need to come back now.
Yeah.
And Mark made a decision.
Yeah. He's not going to sacrifice his Day needs for his own, essentially. Like Day needed this and he was gonna do whatever it took to give it to him, even if it meant, he would lose something later on.
Yeah. The way he says that I'm losing my vision, I don't even know if I'll had it. I'll have it when we get there. Like he thinks he's going to lose it like really, really soon.
Yeah, it's obviously
And
been getting a lot worse. Like he's not been letting on how bad it's actually been getting.
and he's thinking beyond that. He's thinking about the future. He's like, well, but Mark is like, no, to me, there's only today. And
Mm.
I thought back to the lines from the trailer where, like one who doesn't have a future, one who cannot see his future. And I was also thinking, like this kind of feels like a Faustian reference,
Mm.
like beautiful moment, do not pass me by. Do you know that thing? Where he's like Faust by Goethe is so unsatisfied with his life. Like, he doesn't if the romantic interpretation is that he's never satisfied and he makes a deal with the devil who gives him like everything he wants.
Mm.
And he says, once I say beautiful moment, do not pass me by, you can take it all away from me, you can take my soul away. And now it felt like Mork was this person. He was not satisfied with the Twilight. It wasn't good enough for him, but Day was the one who was
Made it
satisfied
beautiful.
with the moment.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
he
feel
made a
like,
beautiful film, but also,
yeah,
yep.
I feel like in that moment where he says to him, like, there's only today, I feel like it's interesting because, as you said, you brought up the bit from the trailer, and I feel like at the beginning of this series, it was very much the truth. Like, he could not see his future because
Mhm.
he couldn't get out of his own way. Like, he was just so, internalized rage and like whatever else, and there was like no end in sight to what he'd been going through and everything. And now he it's not that he can't see it, it's just that it's not it's not important in the way it used to be. Like, now it's more important about right now, right this moment with this person. Like,
But
he's
also, yeah,
actually living his life, whereas before he was just like treading water.
but also this beautiful moment, do not pass me by, is in line with the way the book story ends with her, like with me turning into stone, because that was the perfect moment. Like, there is nothing beyond that.
Mm.
She finally achieved perfection, basically, and
Yeah, there wasn't
that was it.
anything else that she needed to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and so, and I can, as I said, like, there was that moment where he doesn't get that because he still, it's like he said to today on the way up and everything, that there was still like so many beautiful things that he wanted to show him, and
Mhm.
I don't and he doesn't necessarily mean like sight. Like, he's aware, he knows what's happening. He's just like the experience of it all, which is what Day was kind of talking about anyway. And it's like, it's so, like, when he reads the end of that story, it seems so useless and such a waste to him, which I get. Like, I get where he's coming from.
Disappointed.
Yeah, because
Disappointing, because it was like he was losing this hope. He was losing hope.
mm,
Like, this is the end. This is really the end, and is this the best that we can have?
yeah,
And
to
it's
be
like,
in stone, to give up, to, like, he's
yeah,
looking at it from a completely different point, which makes sense if you look at like what happened with his sister and just everything, where he's come from in terms of like his socio-economic, standing and all the rest of it. Like, this is a really depressing kind of viewpoint from someone in his position. Someone from Day's position, he understood like what the author was trying to say to a certain extent, or at least he could interpretate. Like, he had his own interpretation of it, because he got like, he's kind of living that at the moment.
mhm,
Um, like, he obviously doesn't believe in the turning into stone thing, but this idea of seeing something that's perfect, that you can, makes it okay, makes it so that you can deal with like not having to go and try and chase that, one off chance that maybe you'll be able to see again, or like whatever. Like, he's found that thing that is so beautiful and so amazing to him. Like, he's seen something so life changing and so like beautiful, and like, it's just, he doesn't need to see anything else. Like, he's content to never see anything else beyond that, because he feels like he's seen the most amazing thing ever. And the
it
fact
feels
that,
like they were looking for a solution in the outside to make it all make sense. Because sometimes when something horrible happens to you, you're looking for an answer. Like, you're looking for why,
yeah,
and you're looking for something to make it make sense. And them looking for that perfect vision, for that perfect sunset, that perfect twilight, was looking outwards. But funnily enough, this time the solution was inwards, was something that you can feel with your heart, and not
Yeah, it
and
was
you don't
it
really
was
need
that's right. It
your
was
vision
Dave
for it.
coming to a realization, I guess, in himself that like he had he was okay. He was going to be okay.
Yeah,
I feel like.
yeah,
Yeah, the
because
way
he
he
even
said,
said, even though he was going blind, that was the first time he was seeing the world clearly.
that's right. But the way he said though, like that, it's a good way to end, and that made it sound so finalistic and so fatalistic. And
Mm.
like as I said, if for someone who has like a suicide trigger, PTSD, like Mork, I was waiting for some sort of extreme response from him. We did get a face like where he was like, what the fuck kind of thing,
Mm.
but then sort of Day continued to explain himself and it kind of went away.
It is
I
like this, but it is regarding, it's about his vision, not about his life. He made peace with the
Yeah,
fact
he
that
made
he's
that's
becoming
right. He's
good.
he's
Yeah.
he's saying like I get it, but it's not, yeah, it's not, he wasn't likening himself to that. So it's just this whole moment at the end here. Oh my god, it just drove me so much. And the reason why I feel like Mork is has such a different reaction to Day is I feel like Day knew when they were going up the mountain that he probably wasn't, even if it had been the most amazing sunset, he probably wasn't going to be able to see it anyway. So like it was going through the motions and experiencing it and achieving it and having this memory with Mork that was the important thing versus like actually seeing this amazing sunset or whatever twilight. Whereas for Mork is trying to give Day everything he can while he can. And so this idea that how dare the universe not cooperate and
Mm.
give Day his perfect fucking twilight, he was so frustrated and angry. Like it's so disappointed. Like how could you do this to him? Like it's just it it's this whole part was just and then
But it's like the oh, when I started crying actually, when Mock closed his eyes and he opened them again, and the scenery was transformed and he was
yeah,
seeing that twilight. That's when I started crying actually,
yeah,
when it changed
yeah,
into what
Day made it
they
beautiful for
were
him.
seeing.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's interesting too because it's depending on how you look at this scene. It'd be interesting to see how people take the way this scene ended and everything, because I'd be very interested to see what different people's takes are. But like, so the bit where he is describing, first off, Mork is describing what he thinks the perfect sunset should be, and then um, Day goes into much finer detail. Like he's talking about how the colors are blending and the red into the
Mm.
orange into the yellow and all the rest of it, and he's giving like extra description. And then
Mhm.
so Mork closes his eyes and he starts to see it. So he's Day's made it beautiful for him, but it's like I I wonder if Mork will ever realize that what happened in that moment is what he's been doing for months for Day.
Mhm.
He's been making the world alive again through like telling him about stuff, through taking him places, showing him things, helping him to experience stuff. Like every time he does something like that, he's making the world beautiful for Day again.
So you don't know what you're doing. You're talking, and I start crying, and then I calm down, and then I start crying again.
You know what?
Calm
I just made myself cry, so it's okay. But that is totally what he's been doing for months, like for Day.
down.
And I'm
Yeah.
just like, the way it's so funny, because not funny, but like the reason why I said I'm really curious to see how people like what people think happened at the end of this scene. Like, do people think that Mork started crying because he knew Day was like couldn't see anymore? Because that's not why he started crying. But I don't know if people are going to get
Started
that.
crying because he was
He was
the
the
last
thing.
thing that
Yes,
they wanted to see.
that's right.
He
He's
couldn't
he's the
believe.
only
He was
thing
like,
he needs. He's the
"You
only thing
wanted
he
to
needs
see
to
me?
see. Yeah,
Yes, this is the last thing that you want to see me."
yeah.
Like, am I like I am that worth that much?
Yeah,
It's just like
he loves me this much. Like I am the
like,
most important, the most
after
amazing.
this, he'll never
Mm,
let go of him. He'll never
mm.
let go of him after this moment.
Oh my goodness. And so I was
He won't
like,
let
because
go. You thought he would like leave or something. No, 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 no. After this, I cannot see him letting go of
no,
Day.
and I
After
can't see
this
as well. Like,
connection.
so we had this amazing moment here where, okay, yes, it's super tragic. Day is now, we have to assume, given what happens in the trailer for next week, he is now officially blind.
Yeah,
And yet, he is so determined. He is, from what we see in the trailer, he looks so fucking happy. Like, what happened to them on this mountain is
it's
like,
so meaningful.
it's so meaningful, and it's just actually kind of very similar to the book, because the book said that that place could heal and break curses.
Yeah,
And so now, seeing the trailer for next week, seeing how happy they are and how determined
yeah,
determined Day is to, I love the trailer. Okay, so let's just break the trailer
yeah.
down
Because
really
that you were
quickly.
expected that. You're expecting that for him
Yes,
to
I
tell his
wanted
mother what he
him. I
wants. Yeah,
wanted him to take a stand, and I'm so glad that it looks like that's what's going to happen. And it's like, we have Day quit, which is not Day. We have Mork quit, which makes complete sense, because
yeah,
what's going on with them. It's not about, they are at the same place that Paon and his fiance were at when they got
yeah.
engaged, and people are going, aren't you worried you're gonna have to take care of him? Blah blah blah. He's
Hmm.
not his carer. He looks after him because he loves him. Like, that's different.
Yeah,
It's, they're just together, and he will take care of him the same way he would take care of anyone he loved, and Day will do the same, right? And so it's not a job to him anymore. It's like just what he wants to do. Like, it's not something he wants to get paid for. It's not something he wants to whatever. Like, he gets that. He can't do it anyway. She's not going to let him do it. But he doesn't want to do that anyway. He doesn't want that. um he doesn't want or need that classification, because he's Day's boyfriend. He's his lover. He's,
hmm,
like, they don't need that. That's not something that they
yeah.
need. And he can support Day without being his carer. Like, so that was really distinctive, and I love that we get this. I can't wait actually for next week. Normally episode 10 you dread, but I'm actually looking. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Hmm. I don't know.
Payoff
I
has
don't
just
know.
gone like, fuck episode 10, we're gonna make it like whatever. It looks like they, obviously it's bad, because it looks like they come
Hmm.
back. He gets the yes, you're definitely blind.
Hmm.
He Mork is being pushed outside, like he is outside of
It's
the room.
interesting that he quits and it's not her who fires him, but he's the one who quits
Yeah,
because you'd expect her to fire him after this, or maybe when she finds out that they're boyfriends. Or I don't know. I'm curious to see how she reacts to that.
yeah. Well,
But
she says
I
that
want to
he
just, I
went.
just,
She says that he stepped over the line or whatever he went, and
mhm,
that could mean a bunch of different stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean she knew about them, because that could also just mean because he went off and took him to this place without her permission, let's say, given that technically she employed him and all the rest of it. Um, so she could just be. We won't know until we watch it, but like, the fact that he quits, and the fact that Day takes this opportunity to kind of stand up to her and says he's not just a caretaker for me, like the way they hold hands and that, if she doesn't know, she does now.
I want to say, I just love that the fact that the moment when Jake explains to Mork how when Mork gets frustrated and at first he doesn't understand this ending, but Day does, and he says basically explains to him that the moment was so beautiful, you want it to last forever. So Mi's body turned to stone, and it turns into a forever.
Mm,
And so, and then the last thing that he sees is Mok. So the thing that he wanted to be transformed into forever, the moment that he wanted to stay with him forever, is Mok's face.
mm,
And the fact that he he like him wanting to see Mork smile and Mork trying so hard to smile for him.
Oh my god, this just
It's
broke my
failing
heart.
this.
The way oh seriously, once again I cannot bang on too much about how amazing Jimmy has played this character. Like this scene was everything, and a huge part of that was how he acted in this scene. Like he broke my heart, but at the same time, like I was so happy for him as well. Like it was the weirdest sensation, and I just yeah, the fact that he's trying to smile because he knows that's what Day wants. But I love how Day's like, "Don't lie to me" or whatever he says to him, because obviously he can
Like
tell that he's crying.
his heartbroken because Day is losing his sight. He's so happy because Day is, content. He's like uh, incredulous because Day thinks so much. I mean, Day is so in love with him. This is such a big confession.
Yeah, it is. It's
It's
like
such a confession.
yeah, he is, as you said, he's worth his worth is so high in this moment.
It's
Like he
worth the
doesn't know
last
what to do with it.
moments. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
as you said, it's bittersweet. It's like kind of what I was saying, with about not growing up in that because of this thing that happened to Day. In a sense, the same thing is happening here, where Mork is realizing how much he means to Day, how much he loves him, how much like this is like such an important moment where you know this is like how he wants to be forever, like with him and everything. And it's so fucking romantic, but the fact that like the thing that is underwriting it is Day's blindness is
mhm.
devastating. It's heartbreaking, but
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It was extremely beautiful. They did a really good job of it. And as I said, based on what we're getting in the trailer for next week, it seems fairly positive, except for the whole yes, you're blind bit and obviously the issues with the mother. It looks like we're going to get some of the stuff we wanted, like Day going looking for Mork, and boy is so happy to see him.
But still, I don't think they'll transform her into a villain. So
I
I'm not
don't think she's
expecting too
going, like,
much.
I think
Yeah.
she's gonna have to get to the point where like if Day decides to leave, like for example, like if he decides to go and like live with Mork or what, if she wants to have a relationship with him, she's going to have to come to this realization that he Mork is not the villain in his story. He's
Yeah.
Day's son.
Also,
Or
the
he's Day's
fact
last
that we
Twilight,
were
let's say.
we were expecting Morg to rely on Day, and I feel like in this moment when Day shows him his last Twilight,
Mm.
it's like kind of a moment like this when Mork is relying on Day's strength. Do you think this will? I feel this is satisfying, like not
I did
addressing the.
I did like it because as you said, I feel like there's that he's showing more someone who's really kind of we've seen has had a hard life, comes from like nothing really, and has a very grim view of things, and the only beauty it seems he's been seeing in the world is like the only thing that he can see that's worth looking at and that's worth that's beautiful or whatever is Day. And Day giving him this gift is, yeah, I feel like I felt it was satisfying. I mean, I'm
And
curious
about
too.
the, not seeing another moment of Mork freaking out or,
Yeah,
with PTSD or him fighting anyone. On one hand, I do kind of want to see that, but I don't know if it will fit the story
I don't
right
think
now
so.
the way
I
it
can't
is.
see it. Given what the
Yeah,
trailer that we've had for episode 10, it doesn't seem like we're going to get to a place where that would
it's like
happen. That being
it's like
said,
something that would fit the characters in the beginning, and I'm not sure that it would fit them way like they developed in a way that I don't know if it fits them now.
Yeah.
So what
Well,
they're
I'm
going to.
curious too as well. Like I think I said to you earlier in the week that I'd seen something that indicated there's only 10 episodes. So now I'm like, is this next week the last episode? Because if it is, well then this trailer makes sense to me. But then if it's not, if there's still 2 more episodes after this, who knows what's going to happen? Would be my comment.
Mhm,
I feel like I'll
mhm.
probably be okay if we don't get
Three
the
episodes, like
the
if
stuff that
that follows.
we're the conflict and that we were anticipating, because I
Yeah,
feel like this I couldn't have anticipated this last scene. Like this last
yeah.
scene was amazing, and I feel like
Hmm.
it transformed not just Day in his acceptance of everything and the
Yeah,
joy he was finding in that moment of being there with Mork, but Mork, I feel like Mork is so
yeah.
transformed in this moment. So I feel like probably a lot of his fear and doubt and anger has just gone. Like he's probably let it
I
go. In
agree.
that moment, he's so worthy and so loved. Like how could you hate after that?
Yeah, that is true. It's
I just
done.
made
It's
myself
done
I
so
made myself cry
beautifully.
again. But yeah, so I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'll be
Yeah,
very curious to see, like, at the end. Ask me again when we're actually at the end of the series, and then I'll be able to say whether I'm satisfied or not. It will depend on what they do between now and then. But at this moment, like if it if the show, if this was the last bit and there was no more, I would be completely satisfied with the way this ended. Except I would always wonder how they got back down the hill. But other than that, I would be almost 100% satisfied, because as far as I'm concerned, like if it ended right now, they're happy, they're in love, they're together, they'll work it out. Like that's what I took from all of this. Like they are, as long as they're together, they'll be okay.
I looked for the Little Mermaid ending. So apparently, so her body dissolves into foam.
Ah,
There's
that's right.
just a statue of her, like her body dissolves to foam, but instead of ceasing to exist, she is kind of transforms and is given a chance to earn her soul by doing good deeds for like several hundred years, until like one day she is given a chance to transcend, to rise to a different kind of existence, to have a soul,
Oh, okay.
to go into heaven.
Well, I mean,
But
it's kind of interesting, really, isn't it? Because if you look at Mork's storyline and where he was at the beginning, and I
oh my
guess
god, he did good deeds
he did good
for the.
deeds. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't really looking at it in that way. Like he was just in the beginning, it was
He's
just a
the Little
job, and then
Mermaid.
and then it
Oh my
became
god.
and then it became about helping him and doing, like, us, I guess, good deeds, and then it just became like a labor of love. So it's like by giving of himself, he got so much in return.
I love you.
I love you too, but I don't know why that triggered that response, but I'm
I
always
don't know.
happy
It's just
for.
like, oh wow.
She's like, on that note,
Yes.
we're done. Yeah, I'm very curious to see next week. I can't wait to watch and talk about what's going to happen, and hopefully we are getting 12 episodes, because I'm not ready for it to be over, so I definitely want those extra episodes, but I'm very satisfied right now, so I'm also, it'll be
Yeah.
very
No.
bittersweet, but I am satisfied.
Yeah. I'm gonna cry a lot when it ends.
Yeah, I know, right?
But
Okay.
I'm okay. I want them to end it well. I don't want filler episodes. If I felt the story only needed 10 episodes, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah, because
that's
I
okay.
guess my fear is if it doesn't end next week, then what else is there to do?
What else is there
Because
to say?
yeah, because they've developed so much, and from the trailer, it looks like they're going to, like, establish themselves as a proper couple and things like that. Beyond that, without bringing more trauma into it, and I don't really know why you would need to do that. I don't know. I'm curious. I
Hmm.
guess we'll wait and see at this point.
Yeah.
There's conflicting
So I guess
information, so we'll see how many episodes it turns out to be. But at this point in time, I'm very happy with how things are.
this is it.
Yes, yes, it is.
Follow us on Spotify, on Twitter, on Tumblr. We post our episodes on YouTube as well. Talk to us.
Thank you for, like, spending your time with us. Time is precious. Time is hard to get, and it's really nice that you choose to spend it with us. So thank you for that. And I guess we'll see you next time. I always say see you like it's something I can do, but well, we are like, kind of like checking to see if you guys are, on the socials. So I guess that's us trying to see you. But yeah.
Bye.
Bye.